too early in the morning, and we're in the ramp truck, and we have something stupid on the bed, so it must mean we're about to do something stupid.
Like usual.
Yeah, it does seem to be the way. I think this really takes the cake, though. This is definitely one of the dumbest things I think I've ever done, period.
I didn't think it was that dumb till yesterday's discovery of the unequal springs.
Yeah, so we have the Jeep Comanche race truck, which is still four words that just don't belong together. And I've had it since we went and picked it up. Powers has come back down because we're going to go do an autocross with it. I've done a bunch of work to it, but really mostly just like
Making it run.
making it run. Well, yeah, I mean, it ran. I never really had to do a lot to it. The biggest thing I ever did was put an alternator on it, get it so it charges itself. And some investigation. Like, we've done a lot of like poking around and going, what is this? What do they have here? And just yesterday we figured out, which we should have known,
Yeah.
that it has unequal springs in the front because it was an oval racing truck, and they turned left. It's not a lot. There may be a few 100 pounds different or something. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like a full-on, NASCAR car that only, like, the steering wheel's not super off, and it doesn't pull to the left or pull to the right. It tracks normal in the 65 feet that I've driven it.
It's just gonna feel different when we turn left versus right.
Yeah. I think it also has some amount of camber in the right front, which is impressive considering it's a straight axle.
We don't think about that.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be adventure. As long as they let us run. There is still... We still have to tech, and we still have to, like, hope that they have a good sense of humor, and they're not gonna be like, I don't think so. We'll see. This is the first time I've ever running here. We're running at the Little Rock, which is a half-mile oval. That's right, oval, that they run autocross at. So it's baked. It's pretty baked. I don't know if you know that.
No, I have not a clue.
It's pretty baked, and the first event they ever did there, they ran it backwards. It has a quarter-mile and a half-mile oval.
Yeah.
So they ran the inner for one lap and then the outer for a lap throughout, the different elements, of course. It looked pretty cool, actually. Like, it looked like a pretty good course.
If they run it the right way, we'd be cool.
I was really hoping that they do it left turn this time, because we'll be set.
They'll look at the truck and go, we're running it backwards, guys.
So we started the day with a dead battery in the race truck, and Powers did a bunch of idling around on the grid to get it to charge. In that time, though, it got to about 190 degrees, which is already starting to get a little warm for it. But within the first two runs, it got up to like 240 and started to boil over. Despite Powers saying that the gauge looked fine, it definitely wasn't. So we stopped running and let it cool down and just like misted the radiator.
and it came down in temp, and for whatever reason, it started cooling after that. So I have to assume that it had an air pocket in it, or it just needed to be bled. I have no idea, but one way or another, it got really hot, and then it stopped getting hot. I definitely have to give major credit to the Tar Heel group that puts on this event. They went out of their way to make sure that we could get our runs in. We never asked for any help or anything like that, but they approached us and asked if we needed some help spreading our runs out. You know, they wanted to do whatever they could to make sure we got our runs in today, and that was really cool of them.
It's all right. Well, I got up 160, but who knows what it actually got to.
No, I think the game worked. I think it was realized.
Okay. I figure this is probably a good plan. It's still at a good temp.
Yeah. I think it was air pocketed, but it seems better now. No. No, it's good. It never got above 180.
Awesome.
It gets a little warmer when you stop, but really it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's the gauge. Just shut it off or.
Yeah. And I think it was just air pocketed.
Yeah, that too.
This thing boogies when it goes.
Like
The gearing
you gotta-
is very unfortunate.
Huh?
The gearing is very unfortunate.
Yeah, like I said, you're tapped out both like big sweepers.
I don't know if you could hear it, but I was on a limiter a lot.
Well, that was fun. I screwed up completely, but still fun.
Because I was thinking if we could get to your spotter,
Yeah,
you know, you let you go on course
I'd love to.
the next couple of heats, if we could get to your spotter.
I'd absolutely love to.
Okay, and then as long as the post picks us up,
I can.
we can distribute it to.
I'd say that's getting close to my limit. I don't want to shift to third in places where I really need to, because it just they're too far apart. It just needs more in second gear for it to really work.
It's a lot of fun. It's tough. It's biggest issue right now is it's got an oval seat in it, so it's hard to turn. So
I've noticed you've been like,
you're just elbow. So, and it's heavy. So,
yeah.
but other than that, it's been a blast.
If it's fun, that's all that matters, right? Because I don't know if you know this, we don't pay for winning.
Oh no. Oh, don't do this now. Oh, come on. It's dead.
No fire?
No fire. It cranked a couple times and then the battery got too weak to crank it.
Bizarre.
Crank it? Yep.
Once again, major credit to the event organizers here, who not only pushed this very oddly heavy truck off of the grid there, but also hopped action, rummaged through their trailer, grabbed a jump pack, got the thing started for us, and let us get back to running. Well, for now, that completes our adventure with the Comanche, at least my adventure with it. The truck has gone back with Bowers. He's gonna do whatever he wants to do with it. I think his current aspirations and goals are to turn it into a rallycross / rally sprint vehicle. He's got a lot of work to do to get it to there, but I think we proved that it's a capable build. Like the thing is actually pretty nicely done. And dare I say it was way better at Autocross than I ever expected it to be. Honestly, I think it surprised us both. I think Powers maybe didn't get to push it to as much of the limits as I did. He also ended up missing a run because counting is hard. But yeah, no, it was so much better than either of us expected. It handled nicely. We didn't maybe get to push it to its limits to push its handling beyond what its capabilities are, but it's not like it only turned left, is what I'm saying. Does the steering suck because it's, no power steering and a truck rack? Yeah. And not even a rack, it's a steering box. It's rough. The seat, not being able to move your arms enough to actually turn the wheel, not great. But these are all things that could be fixed. Like, these are things that can be customized towards what he wants to do. I, again, have to say thanks to everyone at Tar Heel Sports Car Club. They definitely went, in my opinion, above and beyond to make do with the situation, and they were super quick to offer any help to let us run the truck. We had easily a dozen people come up to us throughout the day and just want to talk about the truck. I wish we had more time. We ended up, kind of being crunched for time. We didn't do a lot of sitting around chatting with everybody. I would have loved to have sat around after the event and chatted with everybody, but Powers had a long drive to get back to where he lives, so we kind of scooted out of there and went on our day. We did do photography for the whole day, so hopefully that will be our contribution to the club for, them making exceptions and affecting the flow of the day to make sure that we had a good time. So I certainly appreciated that. We ended up finishing. We really set the world on fire out there. 66th for me out of 83. And that sounds pretty bad, but it's a truck. And we didn't expect to, I expected to be at the bottom. So I had a best run of 76.703. That was a clean one. I included that one run in the video. It was actually pretty decent. I usually am like way closer to the cones, but you know, a 240 has a little bit different footprint than a truck. Just because that's a truck motor doesn't mean it's a truck. Powers had a best of 80.9, and that's because his best run had 2 cones in it. So Powers definitely has some learning to do as far as learning, you know, how to place the truck. Learning the flow of autocross is way different than the flow of rallycross. Just like it took me the full day of rallycross to really learn how to drive rallycross, I think after the full day of autocross, he'd be much better at it the second time around. And who knows, maybe if he'd gotten his 5th run, he could have done great, because his best time was only 0.2 off of mine with the penalties. But the times were relevant. The time we had was amazing, and I'm so glad to have been able to do the proof of concept of autocross anything. I'm so itching and ready to get the 240 back out there, but I'm glad to at least gotten my toes back into it after all these years. We got to use Jesse, and a bunch of people came up to me and were interested and appreciative of the ramp truck, and that's cool within itself. I appreciate everybody hanging out in the garage here, working on that truck. It was a really fun, totally different thing for me to go through, and I continue to be thankful of all the patrons for enabling me to do this stuff. It's what keeps me going. You know, it's what makes all the other work worth it, because I get to do this kind of stuff still, and I hope to do more in the future. So that's it for now. Go check out Powers Overheating Slacker on Instagram if you want to see the truck and see where it goes from here. But it's out of my hands now, and my hands are very sore from driving it.